Okay, I want to tell you guys about my new review. Obviously, you can see the title of the video. It's not a surprise. I'm reviewing Hazbin Hotel. The good, the bad, and just things I want to say about. Now, I'm gonna start with the positives because I think that's a really strong place to start up. And of course, I want to let you guys know that I won't be getting into spoilers yet. I'll let you know. I'll give you a cheeky warning before I go into spoilers. But at the moment, you're fine. So, the first positive on my cliff notes I've written here, um, Alistair's still really cool. I always liked him. I liked him in the first season, and I like him in this season too. Even though he doesn't get as much screen time, but he gets more flashing out, which I think's really cool. Um, the music's there's more of it, and it's probably like 90% good, apart from something I'll get into when I get into spoilers. But nah, I actually really like the music. There's some that actually don't sound too bad, and I'm not a musical fan myself, and it brought me a lot of smiles and it brought me a lot of laughs. So moving on from that, characters did feel way more fleshed out in this. Like in the first season, it kind of felt like we were just fucking slamming everything into like a really enclosed space because they didn't know if they were going to get a season two. But I'm really happy they've decided to actually give people who need screen time. But this isn't without flaws. Like there's some characters they introduce in this season that just don't get much screen time at all. That really doesn't. Well, no, they get screen time, but it doesn't help their character in any way. Um, and it also felt like they weren't trying to swear as much because it felt like the first season, and this also like why I don't like Hell of a Boss much is because of how constant the swearing is. But it kind of felt like Vivzy Pop decided that she was going to tone it down with this season, and I'm really happy about that because my ears aren't being perished. Um, and finally, for the positive points, the art style is great, like always. I really was dumbfounded when I saw the pilot. Like I think it was like 6 years ago now, or 6 4. Um, yeah, it was really good, and they still kept up the high standard of animation that they had back then in this, and it's even better than the pilot and the first season. So I'm really happy about that. Moving on to negatives, and this is gonna hold spoilers, so if you don't want any of that, then I suggest clicking off now. Lilith was referenced at the end of season one, saying that she was gonna have to go down there, and then radio silence. There's nothing. She isn't. She has one scene in episode two, and she walks away from a missed calls from her daughter and her husband, which okay, but after the cliffhanger of season one, you would expect her to do something like may, maybe like explain that she's not going down there or get the angel that I cannot remember the name of, but I have a point for later, so I'm gonna have to remember that. Yeah, have a conversation with her about not doing it. Anything. Why wouldn't you expand on that? Moving on though. Oh, Loot. That's her name. Loot. Loot's storyline was forgotten. It like they bring it up in episode two. She's like, I'm gonna kill them all, and then she doesn't do anything. She comes down with gift baskets, threatens Vox kind of in episode five, and then does nothing until the final episode where she starts fighting Vaggie, and then the kid she called weak says stop, and she does because he put on a mask and was cool, I guess. I guess that's her reasoning. Yeah, that one was really weird. I thought that was just interesting. Um, ah, the main song I was referencing that I didn't like is the sex song, which if you don't know about, it's of Charlie and Baggy, and they go through a rough patch because Baggy doesn't tries to help but it doesn't work, and Charlie's been a stupid idiot all season, and yeah, they kind of just have sex in song form. It's I don't like the song, and the idea behind the song doesn't give it any justice either, because it's just weird, and that's all I'm gonna do for that one. And um, Vox was good. I really liked Vox. He was interesting, and it was like he had an actual plan. But then in the final episode, they were just like, yeah, we just make him insane. Like he wanted, he wanted like everything, but then he wanted to get into heaven to rule it and everything. But then they just kind of just made him start blowing everything up. And also now I'm on this point. Camilla Carline, I just remembered this. What is she doing? She helps Vox because I need to protect my daughters, and then she helps the good guys because I need to protect my daughters. What is just make up your fucking mind. Like, pick a side, pick a lane, stick with it. That part really angered me, and I completely forgot about it until thinking about it now. And moving on, Baxter, as you know, in episode 2, they talked about Baxter, and he came in, and he was supposed to be like this guy that took Sir Pentius's place. He was really put to the side until he did something really stupid where they just made his character be like, oh yes, well, I knew Sir Pentius and I hated him, but Sir Pentius doesn't reference him, so we're like, oh well, they just read this in lazily, didn't they? And then he was also like, what did he say? He's like, oh yeah, I can get into the V Tower, but I didn't tell any of you guys this earlier because I couldn't be bothered. Like, what? That's just lazy writing. Fine, because surely they could have found a better way to implement this than just he knows how to and don't ask questions about it. Alright, moving on to my next point. I kind of want to take a bit of time to talk about why couldn't Lucifer just leave the jail cell that he's locked in? Like, I guess it's made out of angelic steel, which like hurts angels, but like they don't explain why that stops Lucifer, from using his powers. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't kerfuffle in my brain, right? So maybe some like delving deeper into that would be good, I guess. But I mean, who am I to judge? A couple quick things. People, I saw a lot on people were angry how Alistair was treated. Personally, I don't. I thought it was really fun, and it was actually quite like, I didn't see this coming. What he did, and it does make sense. So that there's a good start by that for Vivzy Pop on the writing by that. Um, one more thing, because I just remembered this as well. In season 1, Alistair burnt cameras that he was in, and this season he's just like in every single photo known to mankind, which I just thought was a bit weird. Apart from like his glitch effect, but I think they should have kept it so he just can't go into videos at all. But yeah, people were angry about how Alistair was treated, and I personally think it was quite a fun thing, and people should probably think about it more. To be fair, I saw more of this more when the finale hadn't came out, and people were like, why did he just go sacrifice himself? That's stupid. But yeah, I like that. I also personally think the episode should be a bit longer, so they could have found a way to like show heaven more, because heaven needed more fleshing out. But like most of the scenes they did have were needed. Apart from like, even though the song's a banger, why did Husk run away just to come back? I guess it was to show like how much he's friends with Angel, but couldn't they have just done that in the hotel or something? I don't know. And yeah, I'm gonna give this a rating. I'm gonna give it a nice 60%.